Hi there, guys. I hope you're well. Happy 2026. If you are working in Etch and you're waiting for PHP authoring in order to create some pagination for your posts that that you're looping through, then hopefully you're going to find this helpful. Currently, PHP authoring isn't really available on Etch, and so that creates a bit of a problem for server-side, like WordPress native pagination for posts. And what that means is that if you've looped through your articles or your services, your blog posts, whatever, they're all going to be displaying on the page. And obviously, we want, at least for a user experience, we want to reduce the amount on the page and give them some element of control. So just to show you what I mean, this is my new Etch site and it's coming along very well. I'm just about to launch it really, and this is just what we don't have available without the PHP authoring. Now there is in the community, in the Etch community, there's a workaround by someone called Zach who puts out some cool stuff, and I understand that that workaround involves a premium plugin, WordPress Grid Builder. I haven't actually checked that out because somebody in the comments has said, "Well, can you do it without that plugin?" And the answer was not until the PHP authoring comes along. But previous to seeing that, I had a yap with Claude and worked out something that's working for me anyway. So if it's useful for anybody else, that's the idea of this. So I'm not going to go completely through the entire thing, but I do have it on a blog post, so you're able to just go along and grab the code that I've used and then alter it if you need. So obviously, as with anything I would ever put out with Etch, if there's a better way to do it, or if I've done something wrong and I can learn from that, please let me know. Let me know in the comments. That is what it's all about. Okay, so let's just take a quick peek at the loop first of all. So I've got a very typical services and then article being the item, and then I've got the loop and the excuse me, I'm still coming off a cold. The loop item, and there's a class there of article list, and that's important because that is what the JavaScript is actually going to target. And then beneath that, so I've got this section with a div in there, and I'll find it. Then I have another div with pagination, and it's really quite simple. This is what is contained in that div there. You can see it's just nav pagination. You can see it on this side. Don't know if I can zoom in. How do I do that? Whoa! And then the UL class. Okay, so just popping into there, and that's empty. So that's really what that consists of. What you really need, and I'll see if I can find a way. Can I make that a component and then just give that to you? Maybe that's something that can happen. I don't know. I've not saved a component or anything yet and contributed that to the community. But you can get this code off the blog, and you're able to copy out this structure. So div nav ul, and it just goes through like so. Okay, so pagination list from. Oh, I've got a test class. How raggy of me. And then what you need is the JavaScript. Okay, so again, this is on the blog post. The important thing to remember here is that it's targeting the class article list. And so if you want to change that class, then you obviously need to change that in the code. You could do that with AI, just ask it to replace. But obviously, that's the class that I have. Oh, God, there. On this one. Oh no, not on that one. Where is it? On the list item. There. Okay, so it's on the list item that I'm looping through, and you just need to make sure that class is the correct one for the code. Now, this is something that a few of you might be able to actually advise me more on. If you have a peek here on the styling of this, step 4, style the pagination, you'll notice we have pagination, but then we have pagination list, and then link, and link hover. So all of these could be together in the nested together, that would be ideal. But something that I haven't really looked at yet, and of course I would love any suggestions on it, is that the class doesn't apply to anything that's currently in the structure. So the quick fix that I had for that is that I put that into the style sheet. I thought this is a time when I would use the global style sheet. If you have a better way around that, if you can better apply that for me, then give me a heads up on how to apply that more within this structure. That would be great. But at this point, and without further explanation or exploration, that's what I've done so far. So yeah, your thoughts on that would be really helpful. So again, the link to this is in the description. Just describes a little bit about what the issue is. You do need to remember that obviously this is client side pagination, so it is technically going to load all of the content onto the page. So you don't want to do this with too many items if you have too many items. But it's certainly a workaround, at least for user experience at this moment. And again, yeah, this is just something I chucked together with Claude's help, and it took 10 minutes to do. And I think that's the power of Etch really coming through there. So happy days with that. Let me know if there are any improvements or refinements. But just to show you again, this is the experience that we have. It's a really good one. Next, previous, just reloads onto the page and takes us to the top. It's a really good experience, and I hope you find that useful. Again, if there's anything that could be improved on that, or any refinements, obviously let me know in the comments. That'd be really helpful. Right, cool. Have a good day. Bye.